Hi, hello. Um, so nowadays, whenever I start an English video, I initially I think about some people, Turkish people, under my English video, commented that my English is bad. Of course. Okay, so first of all, disclaimer. Okay, I don't have any way to practice my English. Okay, I always use my native language throughout the day, so I don't have any opportunity. Okay. Plus, it's been a long time. It's been a year since I've graduated, and I was much better. Of course, I was much better around those times because I was learning in English, and everything I researched, I studied, it was all in English. Okay, so I was using English very much, so much. But anyway, I know you don't judge, okay? Those Turkish people under that English video, whatever. But I feel better expressing it, okay? I know it's not okay, maybe it's complaining, okay? I don't know if it's complaining or not. I don't define my actions. I don't define them. I used to define them a lot, but now I don't. It's been almost 3 minutes. Okay, I'm starting. I was eating and I was thinking something, and I felt like, okay, you know what? That's it. I'm recording a video. And here I am recording the video. Yeah, I was eating. Okay. It is an interesting perspective, okay? That's why I want to share it with you, okay? It is a little bit about spirituality, not in a religious way, okay? I don't. Let's say that I don't believe in spirituality. I have witnessed spirituality, okay? Therefore, it is part of my reality, not my belief system, something like that. My video looks very light for some reason right now. I don't know why. No, why? I look so different sometimes. Whatever. So it's this. I want to share what I was thinking, and I was thinking that I was thinking an energy that I am integrating currently nowadays, okay, and that energy is learning not to go all the way, learning not to try to find the better alternatives or the best options. I am healing because the opposite of this, like always researching, finding the better alternative, improving it, developing it, that this constant action, this constant energy, okay, and going all the way comes from my engineering background. So I am, but it is also part of my childhood trauma, because I'm not loved. Love was always like something, like I need to prove myself that I am a good person, like I am like lovable, you know. Healing, integrating, all that again. Anyway, and I was thinking about this new energy, okay, my new energy that I'm integrating, and I'm eating and thinking about this, and I realized there is no one in the world that can teach me this. I'm so out of this world. I'm so out of what this world can offer to me. I think this is also why, in order to understand humanity, in order to elevate humanity, in order to be the leader of humanity, in order to lead them, to guide them, you need to be out of it. You need to be non-human. You need to evolve in that way, in such a way, so that you can lead humanity, you can guide them. It's also reminds me of, in the past, I have read this book, a Taoism book, Tao Te Ching, something like that. So it is kind of like that, okay, okay, something out of, like, you become out of it, and just because you become out of it, you become closer to it, something like that. But whatever. What was I thinking when I was eating? Okay, I was thinking that, okay, there is no one in the world that can teach me this, that can teach me not to go all the way, to not research, to try not to learn, okay, more, to try not to learn more, okay. And to be like learning to produce less quality, okay, like not, I always produced high quality, and now I'm trying my best to not produce any quality, okay. And there is no one in the world that can teach me this, okay. And what was I thinking is, if I tell someone in the world that, hey, I'm learning this right now, because they have lower level of consciousness than me, they will what am I doing? They will judge me, okay? People are very judgmental, very judging, always trying to put you into words, categorizing you. It's been 7 minutes, but okay. And how I see it is something like this. So, because the world is chasing, okay, the world is in the energy of chasing. Oh, I can get it if I work hard enough, okay. I have always believed in that because somehow I got the trauma of my parents, the trauma of, like, if you're not working, you're lazy, you're bad, you're a bad person. Like, this constant action just to not be a bad person, okay? The constant action. This is the deep root, okay? This is the deep root. And the world is changing from that mindset, from that energy, because one of the main contributors of this change and awakenings of this change is because there is unemployment. People cannot find jobs. They are unemployed. This is one of the reasons. You learn that working hard doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't provide you anything. Okay? Well, yes, you learn things like discipline, whatever. But working hard itself doesn't have any meaning. Okay? Working hard, always. It doesn't have any meaning, okay? But to be in this mindset, to realize that, it is very difficult. Because when you are at this level of mindset, you see something that is not seeable. Seeable. I don't know if there's such a word, but because now you can think that, wait a second. Like, what is missing is people, I am certain, because what is missing is because of the problem of the humanities education system. Okay, now airplane. Okay, now I know. I had to be here. That's why. Yeah. Now I'm here. Okay. Because of humans, the way their brain processes information, like basically in the temel base, in the base, basically, okay, it is something like that. Because basically they cannot distinguish threat. Yes, I know it sounds so simple, but and so also so threat. Why, Selim? What do you mean by that? Like, it's all about not being able to distinguish the priorities. But I'm not talking about I'm not talking about what your front consciousness. I'm not talking about your decisions. Like, I'm not talking about choosing a priority, okay? Like, consciously making that decision, okay, telling your brain, okay. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something like that, instinctively being able to distinguish priorities. This is like very, very in your subconscious mind, okay, from your body. That's what I'm talking about. From inside, to be able to distinguish priorities by looking at it and immediately go like, oh, but we don't need to do it that way. When you don't have this, okay, this is why over engineering occurs. You don't know. You don't know. You cannot feel priorities. You cannot feel it. Over engineering. That's why you do over engineering. I did over engineering. Yeah, I am a master of over engineering. It's not good. It's bad. Okay. We live in a world that like there are people out there that praises engineering degree or being an engineer, but okay, like my body language, okay. That's also why if you had any engineer friend, or a friend studying engineering, okay, or an engineer friend who is deeply into her studies, okay, or like who is very good at her work, okay, like a very good engineer or a very good engineering student, because they are intelligent in their work, about their work, okay, they become so stupid outside of their fields, outside of engineering, outside of what, like their profession, okay. Like I existed that way somewhere along my life, okay, some period of time. This in that way of existing, that's why when I went to a psychic, they used to tell me, no, I didn't go to psychic around that time, but I wasn't, no, but I feel like that's what ungrounded is. Like I still don't understand the meaning of the word grounded. I know it electronically, but I feel like I need to say this word, okay? Not being grounded. I don't know why I need to say this word, but I feel like this is why those engineering people, because they become so stupid outside of engineering, they become ungrounded, okay? Not grounded, ungrounded, ingrounded, whatever, the opposite of the word grounded. Actually, it's been 20 minutes and I still didn't tell you the perspective I wanted to share. But anyway, I expressed myself. It was meant to be somehow, okay. But what I wanted to share, like my main intention to create this video, that I decided to create this video, it was yes, as I told you, I was thinking about the energy I'm currently integrating, and I thought, oh, nobody in the world can teach me, nobody in the world can teach me. And I felt like I'm being judged, and then I explained it to myself, okay, but like I didn't do it intentionally, okay. It was my mind processing itself. It was my mind processing itself. I was just the witness, okay. I was witnessing it. I was the observer of my mind, okay. I'm also learning. Overthinking is not always bad. I'm not my thoughts. And as I was witnessing my mind processing itself, I saw that I was explaining myself that it's something like a graph, okay? And the way I was thinking about it was I was thinking about complex numbers, the plane of complex numbers, something like that, okay. Imaginary numbers, okay. That plane, okay. So this is a plane, 2D, two-dimensional, okay. And imagine there's a line here, okay. There's a line here on this plane, and this line has a length, right? But because I have awakened so much that now I'm on a different plane. It's like, yes, literally, I am on a different dimension. This is 2D, so I'm on the third dimension. That's why I'm gonna see it like a point, a dot, okay? And because I'm gonna see it as a dot, from my perspective, it doesn't have any length. Therefore, it is nothing for me. That's why, because I have high level of consciousness, that's why I don't carry that energy anymore. Because to go from this plane to this plane, a three-dimensional plane, like complete another dimension, okay, in order to go here, to come here, okay. In spiritual awakenings, it's like there's a cycle. Yes, you go through awakenings, like, okay, you learn, you integrate, and this and that, and maybe it is the same action but with different energy, okay. But like after so much awakening, it is like a complete cycle, okay. This complete cycle, okay. And this point is like so many, yeah, like there are so many awakenings here, but like this point, okay, there is no turning back from this, okay. This is like a completion of a cycle. That's why you have to go through reincarnation, because it is incomprehensible to go through such awakenings in one lifetime, okay. And because you too much awakening, you had too much awakening, you don't carry, you don't feel old energies. Like you cannot carry old energies. You cannot, your being cannot do that, okay. It's like after the enlightenment, because something like that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And that's like, because I'm now going through enlightenment, I cannot, as I was thinking, what I was thinking, that I cannot even have empathy. I cannot even think what that energy was like, because I'm going through an enlightenment, right? A complete cycle. So um, I'm on a different plane. This is how like all of the dots and lines exist on this plane. But awakening. Now I'm like, I exist in this plane, okay? I know this plane. I have mastered this plane, okay? This 2 dimension. I exist in the third dimension, okay? And because I exist in the third dimension, from my perspective, like the projection of this line is like a dot when I see it from here, okay? That's why I cannot carry that energy inside of me. That was a mathematical representation of the spiritual wisdom. It's been 26 minutes. Almost half an hour. I mean, who watches my content anyway? Who watches my videos anyway? I'm talking by myself, for myself, or whatever. Like, who cares? Whatever. I know I'm saying this, but I also know that there are stupid people obsessing over me. Ugh. Because I have high energy. I know. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. That's it. I know it took so long. I don't know what to make the title of this video. Also, it was a good practice for me. I don't know why, but I feel better speaking English right now. Sometimes night, sometimes very morning and very night. I become better in foreign languages. I don't know, like it's my brain switching something on. Whatever. Thank you for watching. Thinking, yes. I don't know. That was the whole reason I started recording this video, and it's been half an hour. I don't know if does it worth it. I don't know. I'm so sleepy.